All right, let's start talking about this. So I guess this was a thing that Mark Carney said yesterday, was it? I think it was yesterday. Um, Mark Carney, the old relationship we had with the United States based on deepening integration of our economies and military cooperation is over. Damn, Canada might be cutting ties with the US? Based? Based alert? Based alert? Holy shit. Crazy if it does happen. But what? From what I recall correctly, April 2nd is when these reciprocal tariffs are supposed to go into place or some shit, right? Like that's apparently still happening. Apparently, like the coke tariffs that Trump like has like pushed back like for 5 times or some shit. I don't even know, bro. Like, yeah, I don't even know. It's been pushed back a bunch. It's just complete nonsense. Nothing really matters. Blah 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 blah. Let's see what Mark's got to say.
Relationship we had with the United States. The old relationship we had with the United States based on deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperations.
That's how it used to work. True.
What exactly the United States does next is unclear. But what is clear? What is clear is that we, as Canadians, have agency. We have power.
True. Like, we are the ones who need the U.S. needs us more than we need the U.S., right? Like, there's, like, that's why, like, everyone was just like, why the fuck are you doing this trade war shit, Trump? Like, what do you, like, what's the goal? And everyone's just, like, very confused as to what's going on. And are just like, why are you doing this? This does not make any sense. Why? And it's just confusing. Like, America is the one who needs our lumber. They're the ones who need our potash, our natural resources, because they themselves can't really produce that shit all that well on their own. As much as like Trump likes to pretend that like, no, actually, we're great at producing those resources. We're the best at it. Actually, we're so good. He's full of it.
We are masters in our own home. Nous sommes maîtres chez nous. We can control our destiny. We can give ourselves much more than any foreign government, including the United States, can ever take away. We can deal with this crisis best by building our strength right here at home. It will take hard work. It will take steady and focused determination from governments, from businesses, from labor, from Canadians.
True.
We will need to dramatically reduce our reliance on the United States.
And there's that line right there that I think got some people in the United States more likely scared. I'm spoiling a little bit here, but Trump's attitudes have been changing significantly, and I think it's because of that line in particular. Because I've been saying this myself. I'm just like, dude, make a deal with the Chinese or the Europeans. There's been like rumors, like we had a poll saying like a plurality of people are willing to join the EU in Canada. It was like at 42 or 44% that of people in favor of us joining the EU, saying like, yeah, we wouldn't be fucking as you know treated as shit like that by the US or by the Europeans, which is fucking crazy, by the way. Wild fucking stuff is going on. That this is like the sort of state of affairs that we find ourselves in. But that's just how like poorly and shittily like the US has been treating us. And understandably, a lot of Canadians were really pissed about this. There's like always constant like TikToks and everything about like of like Canadians just being like extremely frustrated with the Americans doing like, dude, like Trump, why are you doing the things that you're doing? It doesn't make any sense. And like of course, since like Trump supporters are idiots and they're just in a cult. So they just go along to get along and they don't have like much of an understanding of what the fuck is going on. They soy on be like, "Woo, yeah, we love everything that Trump's doing." Even though like everything that Trump is doing hurts them, primarily speaking. Everyone's just like, "Bro, like what are you doing? What are you saying? Why? Like, you're being stupid. And so, yeah, we've had these plans also before. Like, there are plans talked about from CSIS about, like, the instability of the U.S., and we're just like, we may have to come up with some potential contingencies if the U.S. actually just... Because initially, we never thought that this would have happened. It's just like, yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, we've been in lockstep with the U.S. since, like ever, bro. Like, ever since 1812. Like, it's great. It's fantastic. We're having a great relationship here. And now, like, Trump came in and we're just like, yeah, I don't know. We may have to come up with some contingencies just in case, because, like, this Trump guy's a fucking idiot. Like, he's just, like, wrecking and destroying everything for, like, what exactly? We don't really know. We have to come up with some potential contingency plans in case, like, the U.S. does decide to go rogue. And when that story, like, broke, that's, like, fucking unheard of. It's crazy to have to think about, like, yeah, dude, like, we may have to go our own way. We may have to come up with, like, some other relationships with other powers because, like, dude, the U.S. is incredibly unreliable. And like I said, this is completely unheard of. The sort of territory that we trot ourselves in. It's just how, like, stupid and cultish the sort of, like, MAGA base is. It's incredible.
We will need to pivot our trade relationships elsewhere. And we will need to do things previously thought impossible at speeds we haven't seen in generations.
That's true. And I know that, like, recently we've been talking more with the Europeans, other Central American powers as well, like the Mexicans, and the, not only the Mexicans, but also, like, I think it was Guatemala as well. We've been talking with a bunch of the Central American states, trying to deepen trade relations. Primary being Mexico, of course, because we already have, like, sort of established trade agreements with them and whatnot. We already have rapport. But, like, who would not want Canadian natural resources? Everyone probably wants them. Like, fuck it, yeah, sure. We have a ton of oil. We have a ton of other, like, really useful resources for, like, fertilizers and shit. So, yeah, who wouldn't want them, right? That's like the meme, right? But this is great. This is completely unprecedented. So this was yesterday. Like, what else do you say?
I understand and respect his goal to support American workers, but I disagree with him that this is how to help them. With time, it will become apparent that these actions will end up hurting American workers and American consumers.
No, I mean, this is just objective.
I reject any attempts to weaken Canada, to wear us down, to break us so that America can own us. That will never happen.
And that's also been pretty much explicitly said by Trump, saying, like, we wanna use economic coercion on the Canadians so then they become our glorious 51st state. Which is true. This has been the rhetoric that Trump has been using so far. Like, it's not this is not a completely ridiculous, like, inaccurate thing to say, to be honest.
Our response to these latest tariffs is to fight, is to protect, and to build. We will fight the U.S. tariffs with retaliatory trade actions of our own that will have maximum impact in the United States.
So yeah, this is hypothetically speaking, if the April 2nd tariffs do go in. I think that's probably just a quick sort of important little tidbit to add there. Because right now these are proposed trade actions that the Trump administration are saying, like, yeah, we're gonna tariff you because we think you're stinky. So basically, like, following up with, like, what Trudeau has been saying, like, okay, I mean, if you want to tariff us, fine, we're gonna tariff you back. Sure, bro. Like, whatever. That plan is still more or less in place, right? Like, all the premiers, broadly speaking, agreed with it. All of the MPs pretty much are on board. Everyone's on board with this shit. And, like, we know what's up. So we're just like, yeah, well, we're ready. We're ready to go, man. We're ready to go. Just if the U.S. does decide to pull the trigger, we're gonna pull the trigger back because that's how these things work.
And minimum impacts here in Canada. Understand and
So that's pretty much been the Mark Carney's main sort of response. He's pretty much ready to go, and now, well, this was just today. I just finished speaking with Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada. It was an extremely productive call. We agree on many things, and we'll be meeting immediately after Canada's upcoming election to work on elements of politics, business, and all other factors that will end up being great for both the United States of America and Canada. Thank you for your attention to this matter. First off, bro did not fucking write this. Second off, the tone shift is wild. Nothing about Governor Carney, no 51st state rhetoric. He's going to be meeting immediately after the election. Nothing about nothing about Pierre Poilievre, like any of his like polling numbers. Nothing about like Mark Carney's polling numbers or anything, because he loves to attack people with their bad polling numbers or whatever. That's a very common thing he does. It's wild, because I know he's also said this, right? Like, Canada's PM says they will be implementing retaliatory tariffs. He said if that were to happen, he will be responding with large-scale tariffs. Will you be following through? Absolutely. We have Liberation Day on April 2nd, which I don't know. That's like when all the tariffs are going in. But, you know, this was also today.
Canada's Prime Minister says that they will be implementing retaliatory tariffs. You said if that were to happen, that you would be responding with large-scale tariffs. Will you be following through with that promise?
Well, absolutely, but we had a very good conversation. Mark called me today at 10 o'clock. We put out a statement. We had a very good talk. He's going through an election now, and we'll see what happens, but we have Liberation Day.
Yeah, we'll see what happens is what he's saying in response to the elections. Nothing of, because if he did not like Mark Carney, you would be hearing nothing besides like he has very bad polls. He polls very poorly with the Canadian people, even though like there hasn't been like much polling at all yet about like what people's thoughts on Mark Carney are, because he like the Liberals just finished their leadership race stuff, so like there's not really much information to go off of there yet. But you know, Trump doesn't give a shit. He'll say it anyways. Like whatever, it doesn't matter. But nothing about that. Mostly what I'm just pointing out here is just the tone shift is insane. I think it's because he doesn't have to deal with woke Trudeau. Well, we'll get to that, Boy Meets Mini. We'll get to that.
As you know, on April 2nd, because, and I'm not referring to Canada, but many countries have taken advantage of us, the likes of which nobody even thought was possible for many, many decades, And, you know, that has to stop.
Canada's Prime Minister
Which is complete nonsense, of course. And, like, here's the thing. Just recently, this was also on, this is in the morning. Now, this is something that, Trump, I think, wrote himself. If the European Union works with Canada in order to do economic harm to the USA, large-scale tariffs, far larger than currently planned, will be placed on both of them in order to protect the best friend that each of these two countries has ever had. This was definitely written by Donald, but like this was today, this was yesterday. Apparently I've heard that Europe wants to leave NATO. That I'm not 100% certain on, Boy Meets Mini. So like the tone shift is crazy. Yeah, like Carney, I guess, has the actual mandate of heaven. This is insanity. That this is like what's going on right now. It's ridiculous. This man has somehow like tamed the dawn, I guess. I have no idea what was on in that call. And I mean, either, like, maybe they said that, you know, and you have to take anything that Trump says with a grain of salt, because he just says words. Words mean things, apparently, maybe, to Trump. He just says shit to say shit, right? You have no idea if what he's telling is the truth, it's a lie, it could mean anything. You have no idea. He just says stuff. He's a yapper. But like, I guess we just have to wait and see what happens potentially on what is it, April 2nd, is it? That the tariffs are allegedly going to be going in? Who the hell knows, man? I have no idea. But I guess this is our, like, latest edition of keeping up with the tariffs. It'd be funny if Trump did the tariffs on April 1st. That would be pretty funny. That would be funny if he were to do that. I have a feeling he's probably not going to do that. Maybe he'll just, like, forget. I don't know, honestly. We're just, like, in truly sort of just random territory. Like, no one, I don't think anyone can really, like, predict what could possibly happen. And, like, here's, like, the sort of theories for as to why this could be the case. Like, and this is what, like, David Dole said. So either, the call went well, and they agreed on a bunch of stuff, which, I mean, could be really bad, or could be bad, could be good, I don't know. Trump could also just, and this is another thing I think David Dole also said, Trump could just randomly change his mind. Like, that's also happened before. He can just be like, actually, I don't like Mark Carney now. I think he's a big stinky beady poo-poo head. That can also just randomly happen. And here's, I think this is the more likely case. Who remembers these? He's feeling cucked. He got emasculated. I think this is the real reason why he hated Trudeau as much as he hated Trudeau. It's this. Bro got fucking emasculated. Because we all know, Melania Trump fucking hates Trump's guts. Let's be honest here. This is, yeah, like, as you say, Boy Meets Minnie, this, like, we're dealing with a man who is so ridiculously fucking thin-skinned. Like, this, it could just be as deep as this. He's just mad about the fact that his wife got cucked. Or he got cucked by his wife with Justin Trudeau. Doesn't really matter. And we all know that what's the basis of, like, a lot of fascist, movements, and Trump is a fascist. Like, let's keep it $1.50. Bro's a fascist. It's white male insecurity. Let's be frank. Let's be honest. It's all white male insecurity shit. Oh, like the psychosexual, like, yeah, I'm just really mad and upset that my wife is, like, hates me and doesn't want to call me anymore and just never wants to do anything. It's either, like, white male insecurity or divorced dads. Basis of fascism right there. 101. And that's why he hated Trudeau. Is just this image. It was this. Because this was a big story when it happened. So, I think this is the reason why he's probably softened his language. Because, I mean, Mark Carney is not as good looking as Justin Trudeau. Let's be frank. He doesn't look as good as Trudeau. And Trump really is just that pathetically petulant. Let's be honest. He's that much of a thin-skinned individual. All right, so quick addendum on our, I guess our Canada nonsense. We're just gonna add, like, J.D. Vance's, I don't know, prattle. Let's be honest. What's he got to say? They don't have the cards. There's no way that Canada can win a trade war with the United States. Buddy, you're the one who just depended on natural resources from us. Your country is the one that's running a trade deficit with us. If we withhold our natural resources because you're tariffing them, you're the one who's going to suffer. Your prices are going to go up domestically. It's good to see that the United States, the Vice President of the United States has no fucking idea how tariffs work.
The tariffs. There's been some retaliation, some signals at least in the media that Canada's going to respond. Some of these others are going to respond to the president's tariffs. What's your message for Americans that are going to see costs increase on auto manufacturing, new cars, that kind of thing? Is it Buy America, or what's the message going forward there?
Well, let me say a couple of things. First of all, for the Canadians, and we have many dear friends in Canada, and of course we love the Canadian people, but the Canadian leadership...
That's fucking hilarious that you say that you love the Canadian people, even though you're... Bro, you're vice president to the guy who's called us the fucking 51st state. Get the fuck out of here. You don't give a shit about Canada, bro. You get your goofy ass out of here. Bro does not care about Canada. Get the hell out of here. No, the fuck you don't. You just want our natural resources. Your fucking president was literally talking about, annexing us, like, literally just today. I guarantee you probably think the exact same thing because, again, you probably think like with the like Europeans that we're like freeloaders off of the U.S. because you're a stupid little fascist fucking freak who. I mean, it's all just like superiority complex and like might makes right type bullshit. It's standard like conservative fucking just dreck and nonsense. You know how it is. And obviously we know that JD Vance is a stupid freak, right? I mean, Catholic convert. We all know about fucking Catholic converts. They tend to be like the stupidest, most dumbest motherfuckers out there.
Threatening retaliatory tariffs against the United States. As President Trump often says,
I mean, you're the one who threatened tariffs on us first, so makes sense that we threaten stuff back. It's like, okay. I mean, if you want the smoke, alright, I guess. No one wants this except for you for some reason. But okay, man.
Just don't have the cards. There is no way that Canada can win a trade war with the United States. What President Trump has said is that he wants to level the playing field.
Yeah, by, like, making Americans have to pay for his dumb fuck tariffs. Because for whatever reason, he thinks, like, this and all the tariffs, because it's, like, apparently, because we live back in the 1800s in his mind, he thinks the tariffs are going to make enough money to pay for his fucking tax cuts. That's why he wants to do the tariffs. Because he thinks they're going to pay for tax cuts. Which is obviously just ludicrous. It's stupid. Like, it's just not how that works. But, you know, typical dumb fuck JD Vance just wants to say dumb shit because, you know, he's a stupid freakazoid loser fascist. That's really about it.